And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, welcome in. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Brandon is on vacation today. My name is James DeJerome. I'm the executive producer of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We are going to assemble partners and do the same great show that we always do for you every day. Brandon has made sure that I'm going to do the feel-good story and keep everything rolling just the way we always do it here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. If you don't know who we are, we're a consumer advocacy program. We're out there for you. We've collected a group of business owners who take time out of their busy day to come in and educate you a little bit about their field. So when it comes time for you to take your dollars into the marketplace and purchase something, you have a little more knowledge, a little more education, and you'll make a more informed decision. And that's what it's all about here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, that and trying to create a little positivity for you with a feel-good story and some of the energy that we're going to bring to the show. I've got a couple of great partners for you on the show, but we also have a number of guys on our team I want to introduce you to. So if you're listening to us on AM 860 every day at 4 o'clock, you may want to check out the TV show. Rob here is our tech from WeBeam TV. You can check out the TV show at 10 a.m. weekdays on WeBeam TV. We're available on a number of other digital outlets, Roku, Apple TV, Fire, all around. We have a YouTube channel as well. So check out the TV side if you would. If you're a radio listener, that's Jose back there on the board for us at our Salem Media Group studios. And he's keeping us sounding crisp up and down the East Coast, or the West Coast rather, for everybody. And again, part of our team, and besides our mission and our team, we have our sponsors. And we've got a bunch of great sponsors here on the show. I want to mention Golf Cart Depot as one. Golf Cart Depot has provided Brandon with a golf cart. So he thought he was going to do all his door knocking and drive around his neighborhood using the golf cart for business, and certainly he does. However, his kids found the golf cart, and when they got a ski rope and a skateboard, the golf cart has gone missing for all afternoons on the weekend. So there's lots to be done with the golf cart. Apparently, it's for more than just golfing these days. So Golf Cart Depot, definitely check them out. They got all different makes and models, and they're always looking to do business. So Brandon recommends Golf Cart Depot is the official golf cart distributor for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check them out. They do a great job. And like I said, everyone I know has a golf cart now. I got to get one. So I'm going to head out there myself. So those are some of our sponsors. And now I'm going to introduce another sponsor for us is the Bilmar Beach Resort. The GM, Clyde Smith, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Clyde, what's going on out there at the beach?
Hey, James. Great to speak to you today. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome.
We are doing really well out here on the beach. We actually just had a little bit of a slowdown, which is people getting ready for whatever their new school is going to be.
Oh, right.
So we took advantage of that and rolled out some great deals for people to, for those that can still get away, to come over and enjoy either our weekday getaway, which is 15% discount off of already discounted rates, or if someone has a little more time, they can get the 50% off of the third night. So stay 3 nights, your third night's 50% off. Wow. And that's been super popular. We've done probably, hundreds of people this summer with that special because they're able to get that extra day in. And
oh, yeah.
At a great value.
They're tired of being cooped up in the house. This quarantine thing has got everybody wanting to stir crazy. I can imagine going out to the beach. It must feel like a huge vacation. They can't wait to get out there.
They really are. I just came from talking to a mother out in it's her daughter's 16th birthday. She's been all summer cooped up in there, and they got one of our first floor rooms that the door opens up straight onto the beach, so you don't even have to walk through a hallway corridor. You just step right out onto the beach. And with the 2 pools, we have lots of areas for people to go. The 4,000 square foot sun deck, outdoor dining at both of our restaurants. So you can definitely get out and breathe a little bit. And Treasure Island Beach is that large beach that when you're down there, you're away from all the concerns.
Yeah, hard to be stressed down there. Now, you guys are unique. It's not a cookie cutter. You guys have a really unique style. And plus, most of your rooms face the ocean, right?
We do. We have 90% of our rooms that are directly beachfront. 2/3 of those have balconies and even a kitchenette in them. So you can really make yourself comfortable. You don't have to go out. The Publix is right around the corner. So it's super convenient. And, even in addition to Sloppy Joe's, which, of course, is our signature restaurant with 3 outdoor decks, there's 12 other restaurants within walking distance. So it's a great place for a staycation or to come if you're for a little longer if you can.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that area. I love the uniqueness of it. It's not so corporate down there. You guys have kind of your own style, and the beach just kind of, it seems like you're miles away from downtown.
It really is, although we're only 6 miles from downtown St. Petersburg, which in itself, the museums are open down there. The attractions are back open and with all the right mask and distancing and everything. But there's definitely some people that are enjoying getting out, and they feel safe doing it. We've had wonderful reviews on TripAdvisor just talking about how clean we're keeping things and how well the staff is helping the guests navigate through these tricky times. But people deserve the vacation. They deserve a getaway, whether it's one night or take advantage of the 3-night special and just come to Treasure Island and relax a little.
Well, kudos to you, Clyde, because I could imagine the challenges of trying to retrain your staff and do something in a new way with all this going on, and right in the peak season too, man. It must have been quite a challenge, huh?
It was one of the most difficult years of my career, but, keeps you on your toes. My team really embraced the new cleaning protocols. They help each other. It's like, instead of having, a housekeeping team of 20, we've got a housekeeping team of 130 because every employee is in on it.
Right.
And they've really embraced it, and the guests really recognize it. And that's nice. It makes them feel good when they, as they're leaving and they just say, thanks again, because I was nervous about coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they come and have the experience and realize it's okay. We all have to be safe, but it's okay to have a little fun.
Absolutely. Now, you guys always have cool events and all kinds of stuff going on. I hope that crazy sand sculpture thing that you guys do that's coming up isn't going to be canceled, because that is if you haven't heard about this, you should see what they can build with sand. It is absolutely incredible.
It is amazing. It's called Sand Innovations.
That's right.
SAND, Sand Innovations. There is a great Facebook and website out there for people to see what we've done in the past. There's 10 artists. Right now, we are looking more at the domestic artists, but there's plenty of talent, including Dan Doubleday, a 15-time world champion, lives right here on Treasure Island. And we back it up with music. We're working with the state on how to spread it out on the beach even more so that, everyone can enjoy it, but still, have the right distancing. And right now it's a go. We're looking forward to it. In fact, they're taking some of the fireworks money we didn't use 4th of July, and it's going to be a double the fireworks show we've done in previous years on Saturday night. So it's always a week before Thanksgiving. So this year, that's going to be November 18 to 22nd.
Okay.
And right now, I'm on the committee, and we're still pushing to make it a go. We're looking forward to it. And one other thing that's going to be happening is on Labor Day weekend, we're going to have fireworks. Us in the city of Gulfport.
Okay.
Both took some of the 4th of July, and we'll be having fireworks the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. So that's a really great time to get away.
So, folks, there's all kinds of events besides just the fact that it's beautiful out there at the beach. You can't beat the Bilmar Beach Resort because of its location. It's right centered, all kinds of activities, things to do. People that like the beach, they get up there, they take a walk on the beach. They come back to the room for a little while. They're back at the beach. They go back at night, take another walk. I mean, it's something that it's a way of life out there.
It definitely is. Treasure Island is a very special place. I'm fortunate to be a part of it. And as you know, James, the best way to find out what the best values and to really get a good look at the resort is to go on to BilmarBeachResort.com. That is always the very best prices. I know other companies put ads out there saying, we've got the lowest, but BilmarBeachResort.com is definitely the way to go. And all those specials I mentioned are right there. You don't have to go searching for them. They come right up and show you the best value that you can get to come over here.
Clyde, run through those one more time for me. I heard you tell me about the third day. One more time with that?
Yeah, so buy 2 nights at a standard rate, and the third night is 50% off. The only real restriction on that is that 50% off day can't be a Saturday. That's about the only restriction on there.
Okay.
That we're holding on to that Saturday night. But you can do your full price on Saturday and get the 50% off on Sunday. It's just a statistical thing. And then the other is the Florida resident rate. We always have a Florida resident rate out there that usually is certainly better than a AAA or AARP. It gives a little more discount from that. Mm-hmm. And from now until probably the end of the year, we've got our weekday getaway. That ranges between 15 to 20% off, and that's just for a one-night stay. You just get away, and Sunday nights are a great way to do that. Play hooky Monday morning from work if you can, and just come over.
Plan. I like that.
And a little more laid back then.
That's right. So if you're getting a little sick of your own house and the quarantine's driving you bananas, just real close to you is one of the greatest getaways. It feels like you've left your area and you're in a whole new world over there, just going over the bridge. So Clyde Smith, the GM, the Bilmar Beach Resort. Thanks so much for joining us. Clyde, you said get in touch with you directly, and I want to thank you for offering those rates to everybody. So just online and then give you a call.
Absolutely. If you have any questions, just give a call. I've got a great team here that will help you walk through and make sure you get the room that's going to best fit your needs for the length of stay that you're here.
Thanks so much again. That's Clyde Smith, the GM, the Bilmar Beach Resort. When we come back, we're going to visit with Stephanie Rosario from Frank Charles Miranda Law. She's going to tell us a little bit about the title business and how it's being impacted by our real estate market. So don't go anywhere. The Consumer Quarterback Show coming right at you, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right. ConsumerQB.com is where we have all our partners for the Consumer Quarterback Show. You can come on, check everybody out, and find out how to get in touch with them directly. In addition, we've got our sponsorship, and our team is there, all waiting for you to do that. And part of Brandon's team is the Keller Williams team. You know, he owns Platinum MVP Realty, and I'm going to show you a couple of properties that he's asked me to pitch to you. We've got one that 422 Wildwood Way I want to tell you about in Bel Air. So one of the things Brandon has is a fantastic 2-story Bel Air home for you. New roof just got put on in July. 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, wonderful part of Tampa. Bel Air is a high-end community with multiple pro-style golf course just a minute from the beaches. Recently renovated home, gorgeous wood flooring throughout, really cool porch sitting area. The owner also added additional perks, built-in shelving in the closet, storage areas. Comes with the Vivint doorbell access system for multiple cameras. Really close to gyms and restaurants. Really cool property at 422 Wildwood Way in Bel Air. So check that one out. I got another one for you at 12500 Hamlin Road in Spring Hill. Now, this is a land development opportunity, 41 acres. Huge potential for a new residential development, farming, equestrian use. Travis, you can see yourself out there.
Can.
All right, so that one's in Pasco County. It's the north boundary line is the headwaters of the Withlacoochee River. So, man, you can't beat that. Close proximity to TIA, situated near 41 and County Road 52. It has grazing cattle, 860 square foot, 210 mobile homes sits on it currently. Boy, it's tenant occupied. Great opportunity to build your dream home while you live in the mobile home for a few months. It has well and septic. Man, that is a great looking piece of property. All right, I got one more for you at 520 George Street in Tarpon Springs. Bring your boat and jet skis, stand-up paddleboards. You're going to love fishing off your own dock. Gorgeous lakefront home, Lake Tarpon, 2,500-acre lake, the largest in Tampa Bay. You got a separate mother-in-law suite here, The mother-in-law suite has its own air conditioning unit, family room, dining room, kitchen, 2 separate entrances. Wow, look at this thing. Approximate rents. It goes ahead and calculates your approximate rent. It mentions that large formal dining room, cozy living room, wood-burning fireplace, rustic nook off the kitchen. Entire second floor is dedicated to the master suite. So very good-looking property over there at 520 George Street South in Tarpon Springs. So here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, we always bring our partners together to try to provide some information to you. In our first segment, we heard a little bit from Clyde Smith, the GM of the Bilmar Beach Resort. Certainly, he's inviting you out there for your staycation, and please check him out. You can learn more about him directly by contacting him through the Bilmar Beach site. Now we're going to speak with Stephanie Rosario from Frank Charles Miranda Law. Stephanie helps folks when it comes to title. So we're big on real estate here on the show. We talk a lot about the market that we're currently in as far as the demand is very high. Houses are not staying on the market for very long. Folks are trying to snatch them up as fast as they can. And I was curious to ask Stephanie, how busy is she over there on the title side? Welcome in, Stephanie.
Hey, James. How are you?
Good,
how are
good.
you all? Good. We are definitely staying busy here over on the title side at the law firm.
I can imagine.
Yes, we've got contracts coming in. It looks like, a real estate agent will list a property and it's under contract in 2 days.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing, that it doesn't last very long.
They're definitely not lasting long. So if you're a seller out there and you're thinking about selling, now is the time to sell. Because it will get sold quickly. What's the
process? What's the best thing that they have to do to make your job a little easier, to help you help them?
Well, nothing really. The real estate agents out there are getting the contracts, getting the properties under contract, and once they give us the sales contract, we're still doing our normal. We have a 3-day turnaround time for a title search through our underwriter.
3 days.
So that really hasn't, since we've got so many properties are, coming and going, but we're still doing our 3-day turnaround time for title search. Now, what I have seen, I'm big on doing the municipal lien search.
Right.
And
help me understand that. Help me understand that, Steph. What is a municipal lien search?
So the municipal lien search will tell you if there are any outstanding open permits on the property, which does not affect title. So remember, you're not going to see that on your title search.
Gotcha.
So the municipal lien search tells us if there's any outstanding utility bills, any open or unresolved permit issues.
Gotcha.
So that's something really important still to get done, even though maybe you've got a cash buyer and everybody's in a super rush. They're saying, well, don't, let's just get the title search done. Don't worry about the municipal lien search. I'm a cash buyer and I want to get this done quickly. I don't care how quick you want to get it done. I definitely would not skimp or miss that municipal lien search.
Don't skip those steps. Get in touch with Stephanie over at Frank Charles Miranda. Make sure you've covered all your bases there. So tell me a little more.
Well, you don't want to skip it. The municipal lien search, let's just say the cash buyer says, I just want to get this closed in the 3 days. You get your title search back and I want to close. What if the buyer, 2 months later or, whatever, a year later, decides they want to do something and need to go pull a permit? Well, they're going to have an issue if there was an open permit on the property that didn't get resolved at the time of closing.
And it could be a matter of expense.
Absolutely. The permit department is going to make you do everything necessary to close out that permit. And all the expense will be on you.
Okay, so just a little advice there. Make sure you're not skipping your municipal lien search because you may get burned.
Absolutely. You got it.
Now,
for sure.
You've come on before and been really good about warning us that you're in danger if you just send a wire and don't know where it's going or haven't been in touch with the recipient. Tell them, wire fraud, what is it and how can we help stop that, Steph?
Well, the wire fraud is we're still having a big issue, with that. As soon as you go under contract, you need to reach out to the title agent, which in this case would be us,
right.
Frank Charles Miranda, and you need to get wiring instructions. Once you get the wiring instructions, I would suggest you call back and reconfirm the wiring instructions that you received from the title agent.
Because they're unique to the title agent. You have your own procedure, maybe different from somebody else.
Well, no, that's correct. But really, no matter who you're dealing with, you need to confirm before you send your escrow deposit.
Oh, I see. Just as a matter of security, I got you.
Security, yes, because as soon as my email goes out to that buyer with my wiring instructions, because people are getting hacked. I'm not saying we have,
certainly,
but people are getting hacked through the email system, and the buyer could receive an email. It looks like it comes from me, but it's really not me.
Yeah, there are some sophisticated schemes out there where people can jump in and you think you're on a website and you're really on a bogus website that they've set up to glean all your information.
Correct. Yeah. So, they think they got an email from me and they just go ahead and send a wire with those wiring instructions that looks like it came from the title agent. And really, they didn't come, if we got hacked, they didn't come from me.
So make sure you're on the phone.
Yeah, I would definitely give the title agent a call, reconfirm what you're holding in your hands that you received from the email, and reconfirm those wiring instructions with your title agent. That way, if you send your escrow deposit, I don't care if it's $1,000 or $10,000. If the email was hacked, you're not getting that money back.
Yeah, let's not make a mistake that we can easily avoid by paying attention. Stephanie's trying to go the extra mile here to make sure that you're not getting burned. And I think the speed at which they want the deal to take place, how aggressive these buyers are, it works against them when it comes to something like having the patience to do the right thing as far as diligence.
Absolutely. Yes, you are correct. Absolutely.
So they're in a big hurry and they want to put pressure on you to get this deal through. They may end up getting a surprise on the back end that they're not so sure that they were ready for. So tell me, you guys, you work with Lauren over there. We've had Frank on the show as well. Overall, you guys are still doing well in terms of the COVID and how it's affecting the overall firm?
Yes, we are. We're doing well. We've had a few changes. We're making sure everything is sanitized and washed down.
Right.
We are still only allowing the individuals that are signing the paperwork to show up to closing.
Makes sense.
And so until we get the okay from our superiors that we're allowed to let more people in the office and all that good stuff.
That's
but
right.
We have masks. Everybody has to wear a mask.
Makes sense.
And all staff are, we are all wearing a mask at all times. So
open for business.
Trying to keep it safe. We are open for business.
That's right. So
we are
if you guys
always
out there,
available on the phone.
That's right. Stephanie Rosario, always available to help you. At Frank Charles Miranda Law, all your title needs, give them a call. Make sure that you visit with Steph and tell her that tell them the Consumer Quarterback's where you heard her, and she is going to be a new celebrity for us on the show. Thanks so much, Stephanie.
Thank you, James. Thank you all.
When we come back, we got a lot more for you today on the show. I got a great show for you. We have a feel-good story that I've been dying to tell you about. This feel-good story, we do it every day. Brandon talks about being the first one and paying it forward and doing a random act of kindness. But what if I told you that you could encourage everybody out there with one act? I've got evidence that our message is spreading out there as far as what you can expect one act to do. Out of Gulfport, Mississippi, a very cool story, very positive. Going to tell you all about it. And what if I told you I could freeze gas prices for the next 20 years? What if I said I could just lock it in right now and you don't pay anything more than what you pay today? Is that something you might be interested in? I think you'd be on board for that. And so our trusted advisor, Travis McIntire from 3D Solar's here. And what if he can make that proposal for utilities? What if your home could lock in a rate and you knew what you were going to pay for utilities for the next 20 years? I think you'd be interested in that. So I want to come back and have him explain that to you a little bit. Again, Travis McIntire from 3D Solar is going to join us in studio here. So don't go anywhere. We've got a great show for you. Thanks for listening. I want you to check out the show online and check us out on consumerqb.com. One of the things Brandon has done in the show is this random act of kindness and the feel-good story. And I want to make sure that I'm representing it well while he's not here. So this one today, I'm definitely going to go out of my way to make sure you come back and check it out. Again, Stephanie was here from Frank Charles Miranda. I want to thank her, and Clyde Smith from the Bilmar Beach Resort. Coming up, Travis McIntire, 3D Solar, is going to help you save money on your energy bill. Come on back and check us out. Consumer QB Show rolls on.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rice.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
Give Brandon a call. He will help you out with all your real estate needs, or if it's in relation to the Consumer Quarterback Show, you can always go to consumerqb.com, find all our partners listed there, and some of our sponsors. And we have a bunch of great sponsors, including Brothers Easy Moving. Brothers Easy Moving is one of the moving companies that helped Brandon move when he moved into his new place. And I know what a difficult move that was because I've seen the size of that house. So the amount of stuff that you have to pack up and make sure it doesn't break, I don't look forward to moving. I don't know anyone that wants to move. So turn it over to Brothers. These guys do such a great job. They come out, they pack everything up. Brandon said, it took a little longer than they thought. It started to get dark out. These guys are moving furniture in the dark for him at 8 and 9 at night, getting the job done. Brothers Easy Moving, local, national, wherever you're going, give them a call, man. They do a great job, and your stuff will arrive without being chipped and scratched, and you'll make sure that your new house is just the way you want it when your furniture arrives. All right, so back to the show now. We heard a little bit from Clyde Smith, one of our great sponsors out there at the Bilmar Beach Resort, and Stephanie checked in from Frank Charles Miranda Law. Travis McIntire's in studio here in our Salem Media Group studios, and he was going to tell us a little bit about my teas. I said, Travis, is there a way that you can keep my utility bill the same for the next 20 years?
Yes.
No,
yes,
come on.
Well, portion of it I can. I mean, I don't want to make an empty promise to somebody. I got to admit, the gas station thing was fantastic. It's a great example.
Because if you hear that, you'd say, no doubt, no question, I would freeze it. There's no question that gas prices are going to go up from now.
But the skeptical consumer will go, am I getting premium, unleaded, or am I getting some cheap like diesel fuel? They'll want to know what it is.
I don't blame them.
And that's kind of what's fun about solar and representing a company like 3D and doing it the right way from the ground up, because you don't have to worry about people coming back to you. It's not what you told me. This is not what I was promised. And that's one of the advantages of having a solid company to work with.
This is about education, guys. This isn't something you're just going to read a quick manual and put it down. It's going to be on your. This is something you need to learn about. If you're going to get involved with solar, you want to learn how it works, what the benefits are, and you got to forecast, the productivity. You need a trusted advisor. I use that term all the time with Travis. They got a lot of calculations they need to figure out to make sure this deal is good for them.
It's a hard job. It's a hard business. And if you're going to be in it, you have to educate yourself first. And that's what a lot of salespeople don't do. A lot of times they'll interview, well, he's great with people. Let's put him in sales. Well, let's put him through a couple-week training course and then make sure he's trained weekly on learning solar and learning the business. Because you owe solar to focus and to size it the right way and to represent it the right way. Not just your company, but the industry is what we're really, really representing.
Because it goes far beyond the sale. At the time of sale, you're going to get these guys to come out and they're going to put this beautiful looking array on your roof, but how it works, when it works, why it works, all those kind of things, and the next 20 years worth of production, you want to have a relationship. You're going to call these guys occasionally. You're going to talk about different things. You're going to want to know who you're dealing with.
Absolutely.
So it can't be someone who just comes in and throws them on your roof and then drives away and you never see him again.
No, when I was in the remodel business, I did that for 18 years before starting solar. And I noticed the referrals were, in the remodel business, they were just crazy, like flowing like a river. But in solar, it takes a little bit more time for the referral base to really get started, your book of business, simply because it takes months before you really see savings on your bill or until you get your first bill. Because when you first sign up for solar, of course, we don't have the panels up yet. And just because you sign a contract doesn't mean your bill starts getting affected. Once we have the glass installed, the utility company has to interconnect you, meaning having live power with the grid, and then you will start producing power and getting credit for it and start saving some money. But if you don't have the right trusted advisor, you're not going to have the right expectations laid out, and I'm afraid disappointment can set in if you don't have the right person.
I think it's important to look all the way down the road and see the entire deal, and then you'll realize where you're headed. Because like Travis is talking about, what they're trying to do, and correct me if I'm wrong, Travis, you're trying to match the production that they're presenting to you. So you're not just saying, hey, I have free power for you, unlimited amount of free power. Some people think, well, now I got solar on my roof. Let's crank the air down to 68 and start. It's based on what you use, correct?
Absolutely. And they can change, because look at this March. We had 28 days out of 31 that were record hot.
Yeah.
And no one anticipates that. Plus, you throw COVID in there with everybody being home, and the air is cooler. People are using the stove more because you're making lunch now at home, and you consume a lot more electricity.
All those kids in the house all day long are burning electricity all day.
That's right. And I don't know if you pay attention to the weather in Florida, but the past couple of years have been hotter and hotter and hotter. And I can't guarantee that trend will continue. But if it does, that means you'll consume more electricity. But luckily, with the equipment that we use, if we do run into a snag and have to add to your system, in a couple of years, I can come back and put 3 or 4 more modules on if I'm not producing and if it's what the customer wants.
It's really something. When you sit down and look at it, you're going to see that this makes sense. And I just encourage all of you to do the math here and follow along with this if you could. The cost of your utilities is not set. It changes, and any number of factors can make that change. But one thing it doesn't do is go down. When's the last time the rate for electricity went down?
Well, they're saying Duke and Teak, I don't mean to pick on them because they have to do their job and they employ some great people, but they're direct competition to us. And during the COVID time, they're saying, well, we'll definitely reduce your bills. And they did to help some people. But what they didn't see in the paper a couple weeks ago is a $2.6 billion upgrade that Duke disapproved, and so did Florida. They never get turned down.
Right.
And they have to do upgrades to the grid. I don't want to pick on them. They're a solid company, but that means your rates are going to go up.
Absolutely.
And people don't understand a $200 average electric bill over 20 years is straight up with no inflation is $48,000 that you're going to pay the utility company over 20 years.
I know when you say, well, that's so far down the road, but what are you going to do? You're going to live without utilities? So there is no other play here.
There's not. And there's one thing assured besides your mortgage payment is your electric bill.
Right.
And what happens if you don't pay your electric bill? They come and shut you off because you're not paying them.
That's right.
So they dictate what rates that they want. In Texas, there's over 400 utility companies you can choose from. In Florida, you only have probably 5 or 6. So solar's a great option if it's sized and presented properly. You can save money.
Where's the sweet spot with your bill, Trav? If somebody's out there only using, and I've heard you make this pitch before, if your utility bill is $100, it's going to be tough to save money on that because it's only $100.
It can be, but luckily with a 299 no money down financing and with inflation on our side, even the $100 customer can start eking out some savings.
Okay.
But people have to understand, if you look at me and say, well, $400 a year is not worth it. Really? Okay, well, I'm married to an accountant. $400 is a big deal.
Right.
So if I get audited going to Publix for $20 cash back, $400 would kill her. But I simply say people don't understand the effects of inflation. If you look at your bill 10 years ago compared to today, it's gone up tenfold, and people just don't realize that.
Absolutely. The other thing is the technology keeps getting better. I know you guys talk about the production of the panel itself. So people worry, well, 20 years? What do you mean? I'm going to buy this now? It's going to last 20 years? Well, what you guys do is guarantee the production.
Which is fantastic, and I love that. And that comes being educated properly from the very beginning. We guarantee production. Now, it's not exact. If it's 22,222, and if it's 221, we're not going to come out a module. I mean, it's an estimation. But, I mean, we do guarantee an estimation to the point where if I tell you a certain amount is going to save a certain amount of money, it will. Where companies, and buyer beware, where companies are getting people, if you had a $200 electric bill, and a homeowner is not going to maybe shop around. They heard from a neighbor, and this is the person they want to talk to. And they go in there and sell them a job, and they end up having a $250, $260 bill. Then now something's wrong because the system was undersized. So what they do is they undersize the system to make the loan payment look cheaper. Then when the customer starts getting a Duke bill or a DECO bill and a loan payment, it's more than what they were paying before.
Right.
And that's not Solar's fault. That's an untrained salesperson that's out there being rogue. That you got to watch out for. That's why you want to get 2 or 3 estimates and make sure 3D is one of them.
I'm shocked at some of these folks that now, I don't have that kind of family size to generate a utility bill, but a $400 utility bill is becoming more common.
Oh my gosh, I saw one at $500 the other day.
Really?
$500 a month. So what is that, $7,000 a year? Think about that over 10 years. That's $70,000. That's $140. And your solar system is going to be way under that. I mean, back to the example of the $48,000, $200 per month solar system is under 40 and under $160 a month. So it's just people are scared of solar because it's new.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason they're not doing it.
Yeah. So that's why we talk about education on the show all the time, because once you guys get the knowledge, I really think you're going to come to the decision that this is a technology that you want to invest in. Then the question becomes, who should I buy from? And that's why we're talking to Travis here. And that's why we vetted these companies, and 3D is our company of choice. Talk a little bit about your approach when you go into a home, Trav.
I love having solar on my own house. So when I walk in the door, I know this works and I know it's real. And having that confidence to know that I look at my TECO bill and it's $15 to $18, and I feel really good about what I do. And having a company behind me, if you look at our reviews, we take customer service gosh darn serious. And unfortunately, my secret sauce and why people review me, I call people back. That's awful. But my approach, you asked me the question when I walk in the door, I look around to see, okay, what type of client am I working with? You know, are there rain barrels outside and a compost pile that I know there'll be a little bit more in the environment?
Gotcha.
Or if I see some other, won't go into politics, but if I see some signs that, okay, maybe the environment's not their main choice, saving money will be, because you're in a win-win situation.
Sure. I
like to sit down and I comfort the customer right off the bat saying, listen, of course I want to sell you a deal. That's why I'm here. I'm a salesman. But let's take buying off the table today. Let's get your questions answered.
Yeah.
I'll come back and see you. Most of my are not one call closes. And I take that pressure off and I allow them to talk to me and give them one. I want to know why you're going solar. First thing I'm going to ask you, why is the solar guy in front of you? Because I want to meet your goals. And number 2, I go through the products and I go through the process slowly and methodically and make sure that I give you a chance to understand and educate yourself along the way.
And that's what you got to do, guys, because we're talking about an investment that's going to reap benefits for you over the course of years. So you want to have a relationship and you want to be able to understand this tech. I see the little app you guys got on Brandon's phone. Very cool. So up to the minute, you can just check to see exactly what you're getting.
Well, that can be good and bad. Yes. I mean, I can tell when homeowners are a little bit bored during COVID because they call me about every 30 minutes saying my system's not working properly. Well, sometimes going to be an hour behind.
Right.
But it's a great way for people to show that they're getting their money's worth, to show people, hey, this is what my system's producing. And they can see it every single day to the module level of what the system is producing. A great way to make sure you're getting what your money's worth.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's a lot of programs out there, too. I just want to touch on some incentives. I know that federally there was the incentive program.
Yes, sir.
And, of course, what if you just want to be green? Guys, what if you just want to feel better about the world, that you're not putting pollution and oil out there? There's a benefit to that for everybody.
That's why I do solar from the environment. I mean, it says people don't realize the impact that we can have. And if we had rooftop solar, we could produce almost 40 to 50% of the electricity the United States needs just from rooftops alone.
Right.
But I think as the process goes and solar gets more popular, and companies like ours will continue to do the right thing and grow the right way, because the companies are coming out of states. They're in 7 states. All they know is get a canvassing team out there, knock on your door, sign today. If you don't sign today, this deal's not.
Right.
Get away from me with that. That's gross. I don't like sales pitches, and I'll throw them out. And it's simply because solar doesn't need that. If I tell you that you're going to save $800 a year, that should speak for itself. I shouldn't have to have a sales tactic to get around that.
Yeah, it makes sense. And besides, that's what I mean. You can shop bottom line. You'll end up here. You can shop green. You'll end up here. Yeah. It's a matter of educating yourself and seeing that this is the play that you want going forward.
And so fun to be in a win-win situation. Plus, you're gaining property value. The loans are transferable to the new homeowner. You're not stuck with anything. But buyer beware. You just want to be with the right advisor. Do check things online. Nowadays, with the technology we have, in a click of a button, you can find out where someone's phone number was 20 years ago. Of course, you can research a solar company you can trust.
Travis McIntire, 3D Solar. He's our trusted advisor in the solar space. We're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about specifically 3D and how he got there and what they do that's different from everybody else. And don't forget about our feel-good story, because I'm telling you, this is the one you're going to like. We encourage everybody every day, commit a random act of kindness. Well, I got one out of Gulfport, Mississippi. Very cool story. Don't go anywhere. You can always check us out worldwide on consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right, consumerqb.com, your source for all the information you hear on the Consumer Quarterback Show. check them out. Brandon does a great job of making sure all our partners are represented on consumerqb.com. And one of the things Brandon has asked me to do is make sure you're aware of some of the great properties that Keller Williams has and the Platinum MV team is representing. I got one at 6417 Yvette Drive I want to show you real quick. This one is great if you got a boat, jet skis, waterfront home, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1-car garage. Great opportunity to live the Florida lifestyle in Hudson Beach Estates. They got a deep saltwater canal close to the wide open waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Real Mexican tile throughout, Japanese fired tile countertops, nice appliances, large master suite. Man, that is a sharp looking place right there. I like that tile, huh? Look at that, 6417 Yvette Drive in Hudson. If you're interested, please get in touch with Brandon. I know these homes do not last very long in the current climate we're in right now. All right, I got another one, a land opportunity for you at 19206 U.S. Highway 19 North in Clearwater. This thing is something else. This is a giant spot. It's currently an auto dealership with many locations across the Southeast. You could do anything there. It's got, 3 covered detail bays, 3 garage bays, workshops. You could fit approximately 70 cars in there. So great opportunity for a business. You know, I don't know what you can't do there. That's a lot of space and a lot of standing structure that you could modify to do just about anything with. The owner is motivated and open to offers. And there's some professional pics for you on this with Brandon over there from our friends over at Fabre Photography. That is a good looking spot too. And the last one that he wanted me to pitch to you was 1179 Dartford Drive in Tarpon Springs. This is a 2-2 screened pool, many extras, gated golf course, country club community of Crescent Oaks. Enjoy the security of a gated community, all the luxuries of living on a lot that overlooks mature landscaping. Look at that, man. Deer out there, country. That is a beautiful spot, huh? 1179 Dartford Drive in Tarpon Springs. It's got hurricane shutters in the garage, water softener, water filtration system. Man, lots of upgrades. You want to check that one out. And you can check out all the properties that Brandon pitches here on the show at platinummvp.com. They do such a great job over there at Keller Williams. All right, before we left, we were talking with Travis, and I wanted to visit a little bit with Travis about his company, and he's going to tell you about their origin and how they got started doing what they do. But first, I've been teasing this feel-good story, and I wanted to get into it with you because this is what we talk about. You know, Brandon closes every show with the random act of kindness, and it's something we say, and I guess if you don't do it, you don't really understand it. But if you're first, you can be the one who really starts the thing, and let me tell you what happened here in Gulfport, Mississippi. So yesterday, customers' random act of kindness in Gulfport, Mississippi inspired 80 people with a single act. This customer participated in what was called a pay it forward, simple getting meal at a Taco Sombrero in Gulfport, Mississippi. He decided he's going to pay for his meal and he's going to pay for the meal for the person behind him, just as a random act of kindness. You know, hey, I'll pay for that person's meal at the drive-thru behind me. Okay, so the next car pulls up. We thought maybe a couple of cars would do this. They said, hey, you know what? Thanks so much. I'm going to pay for the car behind me as well. This went on for 80 drivers, guys. 80 straight people pulled in the drive-thru, realized that they were gifted this nice gift of someone buying their dinner for them, and they said, no problem, I'm going to do the same thing for the person behind me. 2 straight hours. The restaurant folks were like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I can't believe they did this. Some people put $40 ahead and just said, use it for the next few cars if you want to. The owner of Taco Sombrero, Vicky, said it was overwhelming and wonderful. She put it on Facebook. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Thank each other. Every customer, we love our customers, she said. I hope this story inspires others to pay it forward. And that's what we're talking about. Be the first domino. Be the one to do the first thing. It feels good anyway. That's the reward in and of itself, and it'll come back to you tenfold. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that our random act of kindness, it's spreading, guys. So be ready, and don't miss your opportunity to contribute as well. All right, Trav, so 3D Solar. I know all about 3D because my dealings with you guys. I think other folks think of a company as starting, profit incentive. This is a chance for us to start a business, make some money. 3D starts with David and David alone.
Dave Ringo started himself, and he got into the business because of lying salespeople. Nobody knows this. He was doing thermal for a while. Just to make a long story short, right. But thermal's only the water. It heats the pool. It's the water that heats the pool. David he started doing PV and got pretty good at it. He was installing for 10 or 15 other companies. And then he would show up at a job site with, say, 10 panels on the truck. The homeowner's outside saying, no more electric bill. And there was a 3,000 square foot monster sitting behind him, knowing that there's no way 10 panels is going to even even come close to denting $50 off that bill. So David's like, okay, so let me guess. Your salesperson said that you would have no bill, and he got tired of that. And luckily, Mr. McIntosh was selling his business. He took over McIntosh Solar, changed it to 3D, and that's how he got his start. And I was recruited actively for a little bit from one of his ex-employees. And then he said, you just got to meet David. You got to see the culture that 3D is made of. Yeah. About 10 minutes into a conversation with David Ringo, I was like, okay, where do I meet you so I can sign up to work for you? Great guy to work for.
A great company, great situation. Let me just tell you, I totally, he hasn't asked me to solicited my approval or anything like this. I happened to be in the office one day, just doing our regular checking, the way we vet all our business partners on the show. Into the office walks a gentleman. David turns to him. He says, I'm concerned my solar situation isn't exact. David gets in the guy's car and drives back. They drove 2 hours down to Fort Myers to look at the situation and make it right. I was like, you're just doing this because I'm here today, or what's going on? Every day the guy is on the job himself. So you're talking about a company that's owned by someone who started the business himself, knows everything about it, and has genuine concern. And his main story is, if I do a deal with you, I want to be able to pass you in the supermarket and to wave and say hello. I don't want to duck and think, I sold that guy something and now I got to hide from him.
But it's true. And
sure.
Coming from the remodel business, and it is true, it's a small world. I live in the Westwood Lakes by the Eagles in the West Chase area, and I see people I know all the time in the grocery store. Sometimes you don't want to see them because they're very talkative. You know you're going to have about a half an hour, but it's great to have that relationship with your customers. And I feel the same way. If you have to hide from somebody, why are you doing this? Get out of my business and stop standing solar.
Right. This is something, again, you're going to deal with the customer for 20 years.
I know.
You better have a good relationship.
Well, because the questions come after the sale with solar. Because when you sit with somebody, sometimes you're in the home a couple hours, they're going to forget or try to everything you told them. And then about 8 weeks later, they're going to have this new meter show up, and you got to be on the ball with solar. You got to go back and say, okay, I'm your trusted advisor. I'm going to be here. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you turn your system on, just tell you what those little green lights mean, what this handle is, what happens if it's Sunday and there's somebody on the roof playing basketball, or a basketball flies up on the roof. What do you do? Are you safe to get up there? Right. And these are some of the calls that I get that I love answering my phone saying, hey, how you doing, Mrs. Johnson? I'm happy to help you. This is what you do. And that I'm honored by that.
You cannot predict all the possible questions you're going to have. You need a resource, an information resource, somebody you can call who take the time to explain to you, because this is a move that is definitely makes sense for the future. I really feel like in 50 years, you're not going to see many roofs that don't have solar on them.
I agree with that.
We're going to end up that way.
I agree. And a quick story, it's kind of a silly story, but 40 years ago, they had this magic box that came out, and people are like, what is that? Don't touch it. And then somebody's like, well, I tell you what, if you put a glass of water in it and push this button, it comes out hot. Freaked everybody out. Don't touch that magic box. What's called a microwave. And you tell me a household now that doesn't have one. Because before, and it said, no, I'm keeping my stove. That's what I want to do. No, there's a new way to pay for your electricity, and it's called your rooftop. And if it's sized right, you will save the money as promised.
That is Travis McIntire. He is our trusted advisor in the solar space here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. 3D Solar is the company. David Ringo is the owner. They've been with us now for a while. I really feel like solar is going to just continue to grow in our state especially. So look around and try to find, maybe I love Travis's advice, find somebody with solar, talk to them. Just start talking about the technology and you'll learn more about it.
I totally agree with that. And you want to look and see how the installation was performed. And before you knock on the door and ask them, make sure it's a system that you'd want in your roof too. But if you see great big conduit, which is a plastic piping running between the arrays, and the system doesn't look good, or there's wires hanging down, you're going to get the same install. So you better call 3D.
Right.
Look at one of our installs. I'll put my installers up against anybody in the nation. Absolutely the best crew that I've ever worked with.
Very sharp, very clean product. Definitely the future. Travis McIntire, thanks for being here today. 3D Solar represented, along with all our other guests. We had Clyde on from the Bilmar and Stephanie from Frank Charles Miranda Law. What we want to do is provide some information to you guys. It's really my privilege, and I want to thank Brandon for the opportunity to sit in his chair and run the show, because I really feel like there's value in the show. We want you to check it out. We want you to be a better consumer out there. And please check us out online, worldwide, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time